What is good, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I hope y'all are doing well, and I'm stoked you're here with me today. But today's video is going to be on Austin Reaves, the undrafted free agent out of Oklahoma from a couple years ago. Just re-upped a 4-year extension with the LA Lakers. And look, every fan base does this, but man, don't even cap, Laker fans. You guys overhype your guys. You do. And again, every fan base does this, but because you're the Lakers, it just shows up a lot more, right? I still remember the Taylor Horton Tucker days. I'm not even fully out on that guy, but y'all know what you guys do, or at least some of you guys do. So I had to make a video. Is Austin Reaves legit? Was this season a fluke? And like as usual, I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm just going to show you the tape, give my thoughts and opinions on the tape, and you guys can form your own opinions from there. But like I said, re-upped on a 4-year extension, making about $13.5 million per year. That puts him in the likes with players like, Kelly Olynyk, Doug McDermott, Luke Kennard, Karis LeVert, Luguentz Dort, Gary Harris. So that's the range in which we're working with, right? I'm not even here to argue, is he a star? Is he this? Is he that? Is he worth that contract? Because he got a lot of love, a lot of hype, and I've seen a lot of people try to discredit him, and I think that's purely because he's on the Lakers. All right, now, before we get into the tape itself, I know some of y'all love your stats, and so this is for you guys. Comes directly from his Basketball Index page, which I will say, if you are a hoops head like me, I'd grab a subscription, bro. It's super cheap. Gives you player profiles and grades on every single aspect of the game that you could want. But here it is, right? Very few players graded out as an A with three-point shooting, finishing, playmaking, perimeter ISO defense. You can say whatever you want about him. He graded out well in all 4 of those areas. And for those of you that are new, I will never form an opinion on a player solely based off of stats, right? You got to look at the tape, see what he can do, and then you can use stats to kind of help fill in the picture, paint a picture, and help guide you. But it's never, ever going to be something that I'm solely basing an opinion on. All right, that's enough chit-chat. Let's get into the tape itself and see what Austin Reaves was up to this year. All right, so first we're going to start with the finishing at the rim because Austin Reaves graded out as a good finisher at the rim, and the tape bears that out. But how, right? Because he's not super athletic. He can't rely on jumping over guys. And there's some great on-ball defenders. There's some amazing rim protectors in this league. It is really hard to finish at the rim, right? The first thing is touch. That's just going to be a common theme throughout every single clip that we see. Austin Reaves has touch. You either have it or you don't. Austin Reaves has it. And it's damn near impossible to finish well at the rim if you don't. But other than that, I think there's 4 main aspects, and they're all interconnected in some ways. But the first one is body control. Austin Reaves has great body control. As you can see here, jumps up, gets the contest, is able to finish on the other side of the rim. It's a very common theme. Gets up, draws the help, finish on the other side of the rim. All right, so we'll take this play, for example, a super nuanced play. One-on-one with Jeremy Sohan in space. Crossover, tries to get downhill, and then right there, that move is intended to get into the body, which he somewhat does, but you're ideally going to make contact with that person and use that energy to kind of bounce off, create space and an angle for yourself, and because that bump, that person can't get out and contest. He's not even able to make contact, so he doesn't get that little extra momentum boost from the bump, but he's still able to rise back out under control and finish with his touch. That's elite body control. Here he is getting Jaren Jackson up in the air on one side, hanging, putting a little English, finishing on the other side. That's a lot of what Austin Reaves does. All right, here he's going to catch it in the corner, gets forced to his weak hand, no problem, gets downhill, draws the foul from Paolo by sneakily putting his arms under. And then right here, it just seems like it's setting up for a right-handed floater. Just throw it up. I already got the foul. Let me try and get an and one. I don't know how he finishes with the left hand on this side, but I do. It's great body control. All right, the next aspect of his finishing that I want to get to is his ability to play through contact. And not just play through contact, but actually seek contact. Because he doesn't look like he's very strong, but he is very functionally strong and is able to draw contact and finish through it all the time. You'll see on this fast break, Dylan Brooks, a very strong player. He'll play through it. But it's not just his ability to play through contact, it's ability to find and draw contact. And it ties in with the body control, but he just has this innate ability to move his body in ways that make it seem like it's the defender who's initiating the contact. Like right here, he's getting this call on Steph Curry, you know? So he just lives at the line. Like, look at this next play against Denver, right? Catches the ball, Jamal crowding him, bump, get off me. Then Aaron Gordon, initiate the contact, make it seem like Aaron Gordon's the one doing it, and one. Next play, he's getting downhill against Chicago. Andre Drummond, bump, get out of my way. Look at how he clears Andre Drummond completely out of the way. Has the body control and touch to finish, even though he's a little out of control after. That is Austin Reaves. Here he's getting downhill and meets Dario Saric in the paint, who is a bigger, heavier man. Goes straight into the body, absorbs the contact, finishes through it. All right, last one. Pump, get Jamal in the air, downhill. Jeff Green, feet not set, vulnerable position. I'm going to draw the contact, get the call, finish, and next thing you know, I'm at the line to shoot a free throw for the and one. All right, up next, we've got the footwork, because Austin Reaves has impeccable footwork, whether that's getting downhill and Euroing around guys, whether that's a more methodical, slow approach where he's getting guys up in the air, pump faking, stepping through. Austin Reaves is just really, really crafty with a high IQ, and for me, these are some of the more satisfying guys to watch because they don't have vertical pop, but it doesn't matter. They still find ways to be effective around the basket. All right, let's start breaking down some of these clips individually. We got a game against Detroit. Hami Diallo on ball, behind the back to lose him somewhat, but he recovers well, right? He's still on him here. Watch this push cross to completely lose him. All right, now he's gone. Now we're right here. We don't want to necessarily shoot this because Duren can block this. Up fake to get him out of the picture. Step through, lay it up. That is all skill. That is all IQ. That's all footwork. We'll run it back full speed so you can just see him at work. Lose him. Step through, layup. He makes it look easy. It's not. This time Jalen Green's the victim. He's the head fake step through god. Up fake, Jalen Green bites, step through, lay it up. Now you got, I believe, Isaiah Roby that he's working with. Gets the screen from Wenyen Gabriel. Gets downhill, makes it look like he's putting it up. Turn it right back around. Got an easy shot. All right, here you're getting a little bit of everything, man. You got body control, you got footwork, and you have ability to play through contact. Gets the screen. Going hard downhill, stop on a dime, turn around, act like you're shooting, up fake, draw the contact, and one. All right, pretty soon we'll get to the pathways and angles that he takes, but here's a little sneak peek. Watch how he sets up the screen. He's going right. Nope, he's not. Now he's set up for the screen. Watch this little fake jock bites a bit. Step through. You know what it is. All right, last one before we move on. He's got Ferk trailing him here. Obviously, you see him get his body back in front, so Ferk's in jail. I'm going to freeze it here because it's really hard to time up. But when I unfreeze it, I want you to notice the lefty hesitation back out that Ferk has to respect. As a result, he has a little bit of separation, and now Ferk's trailing and is desperate to go get back into the picture and block the shot. He uses that to his advantage, pump fakes, turns back around, and then has the touch to finish. We'll get it, in full speed so you can see it. But these are the little nuances that allow Austin Reaves to score in the paint, despite his athletic limitations. All right, now we got to get to the last part, and that is the angles that he takes when driving and his ability to use his body and find angles at the rim. You'll see in a lot of these, whether it's attacking closeouts or in the pick and roll, his pathway to getting to the rim is so smart and so efficient every time. There's no wasted movements, and you've seen it in a lot of these clips, but he just takes the most optimal path every time, and then once he gets there, he's so good at using his body, so it ties in with the body control as well. All right, so this play here, right, Andre Drummond in a drop in the pick and roll on the side right here. A lot of guys, they may pull up, they may try to dance. Austin Reaves, no bullshit, he's just gonna split it with the left, tight ass split. Andre Drummond ends up on his ass, bucket. Here's another one, and this ties in everything that we've talked about, right? Austin Reaves catches it, gets a little screen from AD, and right here it doesn't seem like there's anything, but watch him use his strength and ability to play through contact to bump off Fox, rise up, get the bucket. All right, next I want to show some clips of him using angles once he's already at the rim, because again, it ties in with the body control that he has. But open court situation here, this is Evan Mobley. He will absolutely swat your shit if you don't get into his body. And when I unfreeze it, it may look just like a normal layup, but I want you to notice how when he goes up, he angles off to the right to get into Mobley's path. If he just goes straight downhill right there, Mobley's swatting his shit. All right, similar situation here. Obviously, Jamal Murray is not the shot blocker that Evan Mobley is, but watch when he goes up, he puts his whole body into Jamal Murray to shield the ball and then finish with the left. All right, another one here with Joel Embiid trailing. And again, it may look like a normal layup, but if he continues his pathway straight here, it's probably getting blocked. Watch how he gets back in front of Joel. Joel knows he draws a ton of contact, and Joel can't really do anything. All right, last one. This one's on Rudy Gobert. And again, into the body and then back out. This is how you finish on elite rim protectors without having a ton of vertical pop. All right, last one, just because it's on Giannis. I want you to notice how Giannis does not want to crowd him because it is on the scouting report now. If you crowd him, Austin Reaves will draw a foul, but that's a nice, tough lay. All right, let's get to the next aspect of his game, which is the mid-range game. He has a really good mid-range game, and part of that is the giant killing floater that he possesses. I'll let a bunch of these clips roll in the background, but you need this as a smaller guard, right, without, again, a ton of athleticism. Yes, he's very smart at finding and getting angles to the basket, but there are just going to be some times where the big is in the paint, there's nothing really there, and you've got to have to just be able to float it over. Austin Reaves has the touch to be able to do that. But I hope you guys notice with these floaters and just the mid-range in general, everything that we talked about before, body control, footwork, ability to take and create contact, taking the most direct path and angles to the basket, that all exists in the mid-range as well. So let's get some examples of these going. Here he is drawing some contact. I'm not going to stop and start these clips anymore because you guys are starting to get the picture. But right there, Karras is not trying to foul him, right? But he feels him next to him, bumps him. Here he sees the trailer, stops on a dime, takes the contact, finishes. Here's him again using the direct path. It's subtle, but you see it, right? Like gets right back in front of Jaw, so Jaw can't block the shot. This one's a little bit more obvious. Has J-Mac on his back, keeps him behind him. J-Mac actually gets back in the picture, but not enough. Ja Morant again here. Watch the path that he takes so that Ja can't get in front of him. This is how Austin is so effective. Now let's get to some footwork, right? Boom, stop, turn around. You can't block that shot because you got to respect him getting downhill once he has a step. Downhill, you're behind me, stop, turn around, bucket. The footwork is on point. But you guys are starting to see the picture of how he does it, right? You don't necessarily need crazy athleticism. You don't need crazy quickness. You don't even need the nastiest handle, right? He has a very effective handle. But that is how Austin, when you combine those four things, Austin Reaves is going to be effective regardless of all those other things. Now, he can also just get to his spot in the mid-range, right? That's what a lot of these elite guys do. He doesn't have quite the size or lift that some of the elite mid-range guys do, but he still finds ways to get to a spot in the mid-range, rise up, and hit. Again, here's some footwork. Get Andrew Wiggins, up in the air, hit the shot. Here is completely dropping Gary Trent and getting to his spot in the mid-range. Here he is. Desmond Bane thinks he's using the screen. Whoop! Yops him right back off the glass. I did want to talk over two last clips, though, that I thought were special. All right, this is the most Austin Reaves clip ever. I want you guys to notice as we come out of this, an unexperienced guard's path out of this ball screen is going to be wide right away. But notice how he goes in first just a little bit, and it sets up Conchard, and now he has to go in with him, and now he's trailing. Push cross to now get in front of him, and look at this cheeky little look back. He knows where Conchard is, draws the contact, uses the touch to finish. That is Austin Reaves. All right, let me set the scene here. 118-112, obviously they're in a good spot, but the game is not won. This is Austin Reaves' first playoff game, I believe, game one against the Memphis Grizzlies, and he has the ball in an on-ball situation with a team with LeBron. You got the usual shit right here where he's using his body to get in front of Tyus, and we're going to freeze it here. I want you to notice how he hops and shoots this away from Jaren Jackson. So it puts Jaren in a situation where, hey, if I want to contest, I basically have to leave Anthony Davis. He probably makes a smart decision and just lets him shoot it, but that is a big ball shot in your first playoff game ever. All right, now we'll get to the three-point shooting, and I can't lie, most of his threes are open threes, right? He's playing on a team with LeBron, D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder. Like a lot of his threes were open, but I want you to notice a lot of these threes are big ball shot, right? Like high leverage situations, and we've already seen it with some of the layups and finishes and middies that he's had, but he is fearless when it comes to taking the big shot. A lot of guys, you can tell they're thinking about it, and really, like, the fact that he's been so effective on a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, like a lot, and in LA, a lot of people shrink under that pressure. Austin Reaves doesn't. Now, again, most of his shots are assisted. but he has a little bit of self-creation in him. It's not like the Lakers have necessarily needed it, right? Like, if you can get the majority of your shots on catch and shoot wide open looks, why not do it? I'm not going to put him in here, but you just got to trust me. He rails them. He shot 40% from three this year. We'll go through the individual three-point shots as just different clips run in the background. Pull-up threes, he shot 40%. That's an A- percentile. Catch and shoot, 40.3%. That's a B+ percentile. Above the break threes, 42.2%. That's an A. Corner threes, he weirdly only shot 35%. That's a C. But shooting is so variant. I think that's something that'll work itself out, and he should shoot better from the corners moving forward. But in summary, big shot taker, big shot maker. Yes, most of his threes are assisted, but he does have different moves and counters off of closeouts where he can create some space for himself, as you've seen in these clips. And he also has a little bit of self-creation in there that I think he'll continue to explore, but it's not necessarily something that's been necessary. At the end of the day, 40% three-point shooter, that is elite, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. All right, lastly, let's get into the playmaking, which I feel might honestly be my favorite aspect of Austin Reaves' game. It's definitely the most underrated because, if you just look at the stats, he's only averaging 3.4 assists a game, and that's like, okay, whatever. But I think it becomes more impressive when you look at the context of it, where he's played. He's playing with LeBron James. He's playing with Dennis Schroeder, two ball-dominant guys. He played with D'Angelo Russell for a good portion of the year, right? So there's just not a ton of on-ball reps to go around. So, one, you have to be really good to get on-ball reps, which he was. And then, two, you have to create in secondary situations like he does as well. And Austin Reaves definitely made some flashy passes this year, which we will for sure get into here in a second. But I think the more important thing is he's just a really smart, high IQ basketball player that makes the right read 9 out of 10 times. If you're open, he's going to get it to you. There's no bullshit. If he draws two, he's going to find you. If you're streaking down the court, he's going to find you. And these are the type of basketball players that help impact winning within the margins, guys that other players want to play with, and that is Austin Reaves. Here are a couple stats via Basketball Index just to give some context. I can't go into the definition of every stat, but you're just going to have to trust me. 89th percentile in overall playmaking talent grade, 80th percentile in high value assists, 91st percentile in passing versatility, 86th percentile in passing efficiency, 86th percentile in potential assists per 100 passes. All right, so this guy is just a guy that when he's out there and there's open players, he's going to make the right read and find the guys. All right, let's get into a couple last clips. All right, so first clip against the Phoenix Suns, Rui Hachimura is getting fronted by Terrence Ross, and right here on the backside, that's Saben Lee. He realizes, all right, if Rui is catching that here, that's probably a win for the Lakers. Austin Reaves is staring Rui down to make Saben on that backside honor that. And once Saben comes over, Austin whips the pass right on the money. Wide open look for Lonnie Walker. That's IQ. Here we go against the Chicago Bulls. He's going to get downhill a little bit, and DeMar's going to come over just in case he's needed, right? Now, at this point, I think he wants to throw the lob to Jared Vanderbilt, but now he sees that's no longer there. Now, he jumps up in the air, and in real time, while keeping his eyes on Vanderbilt to make sure Caruso doesn't know, and obviously DeMar, kicks it out to LeBron. Caruso makes still a decent contest, but that is high-level processing in real time. Okay, here's another one. He's going to catch the ball from AD, and I want you to notice that once he catches this, his eyes are going to go directly to Dennis Schroeder, and that's going to force Landry Shamet out. As soon as Landry vacates, boom, the ball's to Jared Vanderbilt. Torrey Craig's a little late recovering, and he buys Jared Vanderbilt a pretty good look at the rim. Okay, guys, these last two clips require no analysis. They're just ridiculous. Here he's going to get the board, falling down, stumbling, left-handed behind the back to Wenyen Gabriel. That is filthy, but this next one's even better. Just watch, man. Catches it, draws Dylan Brooks, pump fake, draws two. What? That is so difficult. That is a behind-the-back whip pass on the money in a high-leverage situation in your first ever playoff game. That was one of the better passes I've seen from anyone this season. But that'll do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this offensive film breakdown of Austin Reaves. And I can't tell you what to think, man, but to me, Austin Reaves is absolutely legit, man. You just can't teach the feel that he has, the footwork that he has. just the overall IQ that he plays with. And for the contract that he got, I honestly thought he was going to get a little bit more given his production. But I think he took less to just keep this not young, but this Lakers core together. I think they really enjoyed playing with each other, and on the fly, they made it to the Western Conference Finals despite being the 7th seed. So, in my eyes, absolutely worth the money. He's perfect in that he can play on ball, he can play off ball. He'll do whatever role is asked of him and do it well because he's such a smart basketball player. But thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back with more film reviews of different players, and then we're going to get into some summer league film reviews of a lot of younger guys as well. So thank you guys. We'll see you next video.